Welcome everyone to this very special event, the virtual meet and greet with the man everyone knows and loves, Giorgio Chiellini.
Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you.
And I messed up your name right at the beginning, Giorgio Chiellini. Good to see you, Giorgio.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Max.
You know why
Good
we're
to see
here,
you too,
correct?
obviously. Yeah, and I know why we're here. Then, yeah. Hi, hello to the All FSC Gold member. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to share everything with you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having this fantastic hour to have and share with some curiosity things that maybe you wanted to know. And yeah, we are here for that.
Indeed, this is the exclusive Q&A for LAFC Gold and season ticket members. We encourage you, if you're not on LAFC Gold, jump on board because these are the special events you can be privy to, even though you're here now, just to make sure you dot the I's and cross the T's. Do want to mention that fans who have submitted questions will be in for exclusive Giorgio merchandise, including a signed jersey. We will not be presenting that today, but that will be available. So stay tuned to these channels because a Giorgio Chiellini jersey, those are the kind of things that you put on your wall in glass because the price will keep going up. You can wear it, Giorgio, but it's better as a collector's item, in my opinion. Where's he going?
Stop. It's better to have in this way.
Woo! Is that the one, or that's a special one for you? That's
a special one. Sorry, that's a special one I received to celebrate my retirement.
Oh, very nice. And look, Giorgio, I love the bookshelf. You got a lot going on there too. You know, it's like
a lot of my daughter's stuff behind them. Just up on top, there is a Chiellini that was in the locker room and something mine. But most of the things is for my daughter. Yeah.
Excellent. I have my glasses on, Giorgio, because we asked the folks on the stream here if they could throw some questions in. Not only are they throwing questions, I mean, I want you to look at this. Look at these questions.
Okay, we'll try to do the most as possible.
I don't think we can do all of them, but there are literally like 200 questions here. So brilliant.
Then start.
Let's get started. If you put a question in, you're eligible for the jersey. I just want to remind you that. So if you haven't put the question, you're too late. But let's get starting for the very first question on the list. Obviously, I'm not going to ask them all. Hello, Giorgio. Can you share a particular challenging moment in your career and how you overcame it?
My ACL. I was 35. I broken my knee, my ACL, and was hard to come in, but was not so hard to come in. But after the first game, I played the first game after less than 6 months. That's so early. But after that, I have another 9 months almost when I struggle about find consistency of playing. I got injured many times closer to the knee, some calf, something that I was really mad and sad and very close to think about retirement. But after that, I was keep going, find another solution about working. And I was lifting a lot of weights. After that, I did a lot of work about flexibility, posture, core stability, whatever. And really, in a couple of weeks, my body changed. The answers from my body was really great. And I started to play consistently 6 months, every 3 days. One day Euro, join LAFC, one MLS Cup, and all the rest of the things that from 2019 that I was almost ready to retire, or in my mind, 2020 was an hard year. After that, I was able to play almost for a year.
It's brilliant. And if you decided to retire, we would not have seen you here at LAFC. And we had Giorgio on the Inside LAFC podcast. Check it out. He was telling me that you played your best soccer when you were 33, 34. That was the best in your career.
Yeah, from 33 to 35 before the ACL. But I don't know. Maybe if it's not happened the ACL, I have still something that was I was really in a good shape, mentally and physically.
Since we talked about your girls, one question: how do you want your girls to follow in your footsteps? Do you want them to become professional soccer players, maybe for Angel City FC?
I would have loved to have it. I'm going to an Angel City game next week with my daughter, but they love ballet, dance, dramatic art. They're loving dramatic art here. That's fantastic. I never forced them. I would have loved to for them to play soccer. But yeah, I have to convince my wife to have the third.
That's a good enough reason. It's a good enough
Yeah,
reason. And good advice. You can't force the kids. Whatever they want to do.
no, yeah, follow them
Indeed.
and support them.
Some questions about your new position with LAFC. You're part of player development. How does it feel to be part of the coaching staff, and a little bit about what you're doing with LAFC now?
Yeah, I decide to do not change and jump into the field and work into the field. I'm trying to help in a different way. I'm trying to help, giving my opinion in many things, and try to work on some details with the coaching staff and the GM. And yeah, I'm very happy and proud that I'm learning from all the business side, and sometimes going to the headquarters, have some event with them, some meeting that are helping me into this transition, because yeah, my next step is more focused on the business side and not the sports side.
But you got to have both to be a success in this, right?
Yes, that's my goal, and I aim to have both. I think to have a lot of sport knowledge and soccer knowledge. I would like. I had a degree and I did the MBA during my career, but I want to really work and know more about all the other side that I just smell sometimes, but not even know really.
Okay, well, you're on your way. And he's learning from John Thorrington, which is, hey, he's the best. How does the MLS style of play compare to Serie A?
Serie A is much more tactical. Here there are much more transition. That's the first. Here more mistakes with the ball about decision, and yeah, really mistakes with the ball much more. I don't know if about focusing or just quality, but we are trying to play more than in Italy sometimes here, but we are doing more mistakes. That's also why it's happening in transition. And in Italy, defenses don't concede a lot of space in behind, and they don't like to have a lot of transition. That's the biggest differences.
And more mistakes, more goals.
Yeah, that usually I never had a derby with 6, 7, 5 goals. Never. Usually is a 1-0, 2-0. Could be the third is just a in injury time. If something happened that yeah, the other team will really recover the game, but instead the game is very balanced, and it's hard to score a lot of goals.
Here's a question about your childhood, Giorgio. Let's go back to
Yeah,
Bambino
yeah,
Giorgio. What was
yes.
your childhood like? Besides playing football, did you play any other sports? What kept you busy
Uh,
as a kid?
when I was 5, I wanted to play basketball because my best friend at that age, yeah, their brother were playing basketball, and we were looking to start basketball together. And I'm talking about the preschool, but it was never allowed to play at 5 basketball at that age. And my twin brother wanted to play soccer. Then I started with him, was love from the first side. I continued to play soccer. Then I have to say thanks to all the mini basket school academy in Livorno that they didn't allow kids from 4 or 5 year old to play.
Ciao, Livorno. Ciao, basket.
Yeah, much better. I'm not tall enough. I'm not technical enough. Yeah, I would be a good number 4, but I'm too small to be a power forward. That's no
Good
point.
rebounder.
Good rebounder. Good rebounder.
Jump shot, okay? No jump shot.
No, pick and roll and rebound,
Well, every team needs a
and a lot
forward.
of blocks. A lot of good blocks.
You got those long arms, right? So we don't see them because it's soccer. But if you could,
Yeah, yeah.
who do you think is going to win the finals? By the way, Celtics or Mavericks?
Yeah. Now I had predict Celtics from since the beginning of the
Okay.
playoff. I had predicted against Nuggets. I had predicted semi-final of the West, Nuggets against
Timberwolves.
Mavs. Mavs, no Mavs. I had
Oh,
predicted at the beginning of the playoff. I did my bracket joking with friends and was Celtics against Knicks, and on the other side, Mavs against Nuggets. I wasn't so far.
wow, pretty good, Giorgio. You know your
Yeah,
hoops.
I'm a huge NBA fan.
We hear that so many from the LAFC players. It's great to see that connection between basketball and soccer, and such great basketball in our city historically. And of course, the news today about losing Jerry West. I know many people affected by
Yeah.
that. May he rest in peace. He was a giant for the game, certainly here in Los Angeles. There's a question about your mentality you had to drive when you were at your young age. Any advice you would give to somebody who is wanting that edge to become a professional
Yeah.
or to be the best they can be?
I never thought about to be professional. Probably dream, but on my childhood, I just try to play, yes, but to win, yes, and to improve. I wasn't affected to be not the best, but I try to improve myself every time. And that I had always this type of eager training also when I was a child, adolescence, whatever. Yeah, just to be better, be better, be better, and win and go up. That with the humility to listen to coaches first, and much more. Yeah, also to the parents, but my parents never jump in the soccer things. They wanted just to check that I was good at school, and if I was good at school, my grades were good at school, I could play soccer instead now, and I was good at school because of that also. But I never had a lot of suggestions, or technically suggestion. It's just about to be respectful. Yeah, on these things, yes.
But there's a lot there. Be respectful. Be good at school, because you be good at school, you can play. So
Yeah.
I think that's good. That's great advice in its own right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
no school, no grades, no
No
calcio,
good grades, no calcio.
no
Yes.
calcio. I think these were it was a similar question, probably from the same person, but I'll let you answer how you would like. He says, if you can go back, or she says, if you can go back and relive any match you played in your career, which would it
Yeah.
be? And then they said, if you could redo one game for your LAFC career. So was there one game in your career you said, I could go back and maybe do it a little differently?
Uh, I would have loved to play the CONCACAF Champions League final. I played just 35 minutes the second leg, but trust me, I never trained for a month and a half. Uh, I wasn't prepared. I did half training, not even one full. And Steve told me, "Okay, I need you 40 more minutes you have on the legs. You do it." I said, "Okay, Steve, we'll try, and we'll see." Then I played okay, but I would have loved to play and to be in a good shape like I was later in the season. Go in Mexico, in Leon, and manage that type of environment and play really 100% also at home. That's the only. Against Columbus, we lost. I had a meniscus tear before the day before the final, but I played with the help of many things and doctor first, and but it was okay. I played 90 minutes and I felt good. I still miss the CONCACAF Champions League final, and also against Philadelphia. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the field, but we won that, and I was okay with that.
Yeah, no regrets. I think that's a great answer. And who can't forget? That was such a special moment in that building. Obviously, the result didn't go, but seeing the Leon fans it felt like a final. It was, and you could see
Yeah.
it because you were watching like all of us, but it felt
Yeah.
like a special occasion.
Yes, it was special, and in my mind there was the possibility to be part of the club World Cup. That
Yeah.
would be a good end of the career. That was my goal. Okay, win the Champions League, win the CONCACAF Champions League. I lost to European Champions League final, and then go and finish your career playing the Club World Cup final. That would be an amazing end. It doesn't matter. Everything went well. I had more time to work into LAFC and different things, but yeah, I would have loved this type of end.
Good answer to that. Is there a coach or athlete that you look up to as a role model, and why? I mean, an illustrious career that's taken you through so many for club and country. Who is that guy that you looked up to?
As a player, Cannavaro. My idol when was a kid was Maldini, but I played a lot with Cannavaro, with national team and Juventus, and I really loved and tried to keep from him everything because I think he was the best marker of the last 30 years. Yeah, probably not the best defender because yeah, Maldini is one of, and the other one are more complete, but it was a huge marker. He was small, but he was able to mark every forwards, tall, small, fast, slow, big, small, thin. It doesn't matter. He was unbelievable.
We got hey, feel free to leave a comment in the chat. I see Rack 2279 with a nice heart emoji, so that's very nice. Could you rank your top Italian defenders? Because there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of Cannavaro and
yeah,
Baresi.
I would say Maldini first, Cannavaro second, and probably Baresi third. But I cannot go before the 90s. Yeah, I watched them in TV, but I didn't understand their quality and their level. I could start from the 90s. That's my table.
Okay. I like that because some people say go watch that on YouTube, but you can't. You got to watch the games. Like I can't
But
tell you.
you have to understand.
Yes.
What is the level?
What do you think about the current LAFC squad? What would you add, or where's some work to put them over the top?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're playing very well.
I'm very happy about that. We found again our solidity and in the last games, and yeah, and we were in a huge streak, and what's very important because we know how much is important to arrive higher as possible in the West in order to play the playoff at home. Yeah, we know that. I'm sure that if we have played in Philly, probably we have lost, and if you have played in LA instead of Columbus, probably we have won. That is something that we have to feed every Sunday, every Saturday, whatever, every weekend, and it's so important. I'm looking forward to watching Olivier. I think it's not just as a player, but as his personality really could affect all the other players and could help them to continue to grow up. The team is balanced. Yeah, you know that from this year, I understand much more what about the salary cap is and what about all the rules that we have. It's very hard to manage and to have better players than what we have. But as you said before, we have a master on create the team and managing all this stuff on and off the field. That is John. And yeah, we are really working every day to find some solution to things to the future, things to the present, because the goal of this club is for sure create something that durable and with a long vision, but also that this club needs to try to win every year. That's impossible to win every year, but we have to have the goal to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so hard to do it in this league, and LAFC has kept that standard pretty high. 2022 winning it, 2023 making the final, 2024 it's looking like it's going to they're going to be there at the end. That's at least we could say that. We have a comment here from Adriana Hickman and from her 7-year-old son Lucas, who says, "I'm your biggest fan." Could you say
Ciao,
hello?
Lucas.
Ciao, Lucas.
Thank you. I love you. I love you. Thank you.
I hope Lucas is listening. Here's a question, MLS related. Who is the toughest attacker that you had to defend while you were in MLS?
Let me think about. I think that especially last year, Eastern teams were better than Western team, especially the attackers, and because at the end I love Cucho. I love Cucho. I would have loved to play against Yakumakis. Yeah, and obviously MVP was Acosta, but he's not a player that I face a lot on the field. But he deserved to be the MVP last year, like Annie Mukhtar 2 years before. Yeah, 2 years ago. But I would say that Cucho was the toughest I faced in MLS. Probably, yeah. We don't talk about one Argentinian guy that arrived a year ago. Yeah, yeah. It is out of every table that we could talk. We could talk.
Wait, did you play that game? I can't remember the Inter Miami game. The when they were
Yes,
here.
I played. I went out at 55, something that. Still, yeah, 1-0. I got injured. We had the second,
Ah, that's
and
right.
then I went out. Yeah, little problem, nothing special, but I slept. I felt something that was wrong on the calf, and I prefer to don't risk. And after 1 week, 10 days, I was good enough.
We'll see. Maybe they get another game against Inter Miami at the end of this year. We'll see. We'll see. It's not in the
We'll
realm
see.
of possibility. We are here at the virtual meet and greet. We're here with Giorgio Chiellini. Thank you to all the season ticket members, all the LAFC Gold members for joining us here. And there's some prizes to be won that will be taken care of after this live stream. So stay tuned for that. I like this question from one of the people here listening. What are the aspects of Italian football training and how they upbring players that you would like to see brought to MLS or specifically to LAFC? The way they train in Italy that we should do here.
It's not that far. It's not that different. Also, it's not about Italy. Every coach has a different way of training, has a different way of preparing. That is not really the same. I had, yeah, imagine Conte was very different from Allegri. That is very different from Spalletti or Mancini or whatever. That you cannot find really an Italian way, an American way. If I have to have a comparison between Steve and one of the coach that I had, the most similar is Allegri. Yeah, and I love that. He's very able to manage the group. Is very able to find a solution during the game. Uh, yeah, it's not easy. He doesn't speak so much. Steve doesn't love to have 30, 40 minutes of video meeting, whatever. But what he says is right, and it's a big, big, big things. Not easy to have.
But you go through all these Italian coaches, and there's so many good ones. You're like Spalletti and Conte
Yeah.
and Allegri, and going back. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti.
I miss Mancini. I miss Ancelotti and Spalletti. I know him, but I never had him in a club for a long time. But I had a good relation with him. But I have Prandelli, Lippi, Capello, Mancini,
Can
Conte,
you give me your
Allegri.
top
Then
5 Italian managers? Do you have a top 5, or is that bad news?
I think it's too hard. It's really too hard. It's depend of the roster you have. It's depend of the player you have also, because yeah, I could say they are at the same level. All these coaches is depend of what you give them. Then I think that Ancelotti now is top in Real Madrid. Yeah, he was in Napoli 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't remember when. Yeah, and a lot of people said he's too old, he's done, and went to Everton, and someone did the same. And then he went to Madrid and won many Champions League in a row. That he was not gone, but it depends also of the team you have.
We didn't even mention Marcello Lippi.
Yeah, I
Campione.
mentioned.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned. I don't forget him. Yeah, it was very modern in another age.
Yes.
That not easy to have. He was in the 90s, but very modern ideas.
He won the 2006 World Cup for Italy, and
Yeah.
one of my favorite things is when Italy's celebrating, they go to the sideline, and he's just like, just stoic, just
Fuck it.
watching it, because that one, that was the Zidane game, correct? That was everything. It was a huge, one of the big World Cup finals, and there he was right in the middle of it, keeping his cool, Marcello Lippi. So many
Yeah.
great Italian managers. We should get. That's why we got to keep you here, Giorgio, because you're that connection. You could be the next great Italian manager or executive.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Life is long. Manager, no, no, I don't
No,
want to be.
manager, front
No,
office.
exactly. I hope to grow up in that part.
Yeah, that's a tough job. This was interesting. What are the benefits of a right-footed or left-footed defensive player playing on the left side or the right, or in reverse? I mean, that's something you've experienced being
Uh,
left-footed, playing
yeah,
on the right, or what are those
yeah.
benefits, do you think?
Best solution is play on your strong side. Yeah, left on the left, right on the right, because when you lead the ball and you open much more the field and you have more solution with passes. That's the first thing. But you can play also on reverse sides, and you could use your strong feet, your strong foot when the ball goes back to you, and you could switch side. That's easier. Balls goes back, you control and pass on the other side. But at the end, it's something that you have to habit to do it, and yeah, it's not the optimal solution, but yeah, you could manage, especially right. I don't know why left is much harder. I don't know why. Don't There is not a reason, but it seems weird when a left-footed play on the right.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting because you're going to be working on the Euros. I'm going to get your Euro pick. We're going to give some picks. I was
Yeah,
doing my picks last night. I came up with some crazy things. But I was looking at England, and they don't have a left back, right? They have a right-footed left back,
yeah.
and they can't find a guy that could do that.
Uh,
It's a real dilemma. Luke Shaw, who
yeah, Shaw is almost injured or recovering from injury, not fully fit. Yeah, it's not the best solution, but you shouldn't have anyone better. Yeah, Trippier or whatever, right-footed could be a solution. I could stay there. You don't have to win the game being the left back or the right. You have to do your job. Hopefully, not conceding a goal, and then you could protect a more offensive winger that could stay there and play one against one all the time and win the game. That at the end is not one player. The key is all the chemistry of 11 player. That's the most important part. That obviously the chemistry of this player could make one better than other, but important is the result, win or lose.
See, we're doing some good technical and tactical questions here that you guys provided. I don't know if we can get any in the I don't know if we can get in the comment section, but if you guys want to leave a question there and I see it, I'll be happy to ask. We have a long way to go, Giorgio.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change it a little bit here. And we'd like to welcome people coming in. We're going to be here till the 7 o'clock Pacific time. What career path would you have taken if there was no professional soccer? What would have Giorgio Chiellini done?
My father is a surgeon, and I would have loved to study medicine. That was
Surgery?
one idea. I don't know. Because yeah, it was an idea, but when I started to be 15, 16, 17, I really started to become professional. And then I continue my study, but I don't think anymore to be a doctor or whatever. In order and for the university, you have to attend in person to be a doctor, and I cannot. And then I decide to do economics that I like, and after that, the master's in business administration. But I would have loved this part.
You're making us look bad, Giorgio. You're a great professional athlete, and maybe I could have been a surgeon like my father. I was involved in economics. The rest of us are schlepping around. I'm here broadcasting. I can't.
The Can you believe me? I was so shy until 16, 17. I was so shy in front of people because I never did it. I still remember the first time that there was a presentation of the first team in Livorno. I was just 16, and they called me on the stand and to present myself and say hello. I was totally red. I wasn't able to say some words, and then it's one of the things that I can never forget.
But you knew when you were 15, 16 that this was your path. And the coach said, Giorgio, stick to football. you have what is required. You're going to be a professional.
I don't think so. But people understood that I have something special in my mind and in my attitude much more than in my feet. Physically, I was strong. Obviously, there is, I think, a natural selection that you cannot skip in order to arrive at some level. But everyone was happy to help me. But I wasn't the best. I wasn't the more beautiful. I was just guy that worked hard to join a level, but I was able to improve. That's the key. That it's not easy. I have passed a lot of my former teammates, and I still remember that I was very good at that stage, but didn't improve. Yeah, remain the same level, and after 1, 2, 3 years, that they go in lower team or they stop it to play.
You're naturally strong because you have a thin build, but you're naturally strong, right? Did you do weights or stuff? But that was just I got that.
I was not really strong. I worked a lot on core stability and whatever, not a lot on the upper body part. I think going back that I could do something more, but getting older, you have to lose weight more as possible, and you have to be thin but strong. I was bigger when I was before 30. I became smaller on purpose in order to play more and to be more flexible also.
Yeah. We see that from a lot of players, and it makes sense. And you have that strength because we see you play. You're a strong individual, but sometimes you don't need an extra 5, 10 pounds of muscle to put
That
your weight around, so to speak.
Yeah, but also because you are slower running.
Yes, we need
and
that. Good
and
advice, kids. Don't too much weights, not too much in the weight room.
no, good, just enough,
Just enough.
enough to build. Yeah.
One plate or two plate, one plate on each. A 45. Don't go Franco Colombo style.
Arnold Schwarzenegger style is too much.
I even dropped the Italian. I always loved Franco Colombo. He's great.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
he's saying.
remember. I saw him in the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary. Whatever.
Yes. They used to do those things where they put a little Fiat and they'd carry inside it and walk across town. It was amazing. They were so strong. Yesy here saying, surgeon or not, my dude Giorgio out here improving lives. Look at that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you like the most about Los Angeles? Maybe it's a couple things, but living here now.
Yeah, it's more than one thing, except easiest things, weather, rhythm of the life. I had much more time to spend with the family discovering new places. What I loved more in Los Angeles was the diversion and inclusion,
Yes.
diversity and inclusion. Sorry, that we have here. We cannot have in Europe. We cannot have, at least in Europe, maybe a little bit more, but not in Italy, not in Turin. That's why I'm considering a foreigner, because I'm from Tuscany and my dialect is very different from the Torino people. I love that. I love that for me. I love that for my girls too. Growing up with this type of diversity is very important, and the same with this type of inclusion, respecting and knowing different cultures.
And LA has such a multicultural city. I'm the same way. I moved from Florida back in '95 to see this, embracing it in so many ways with your neighbors, food you get to experience.
I love that. I love that. As you
They're
said,
a great city. This is a different spin on that question. What has been maybe that was the answer, the biggest positive surprise for your time in Los Angeles? Is it something that you were able to experience, maybe you with your family, that you said, I didn't know about the place, and this is something I enjoyed?
The friendship I built here with some people from the school was amazing. And also the fact they open their arm and embrace me and just knowing me. They didn't know anything about me. My American best friend is from the school, and I know him. And his first thought was, "Is he a banker? An Italian banker, maybe working for Goldman Sachs, whatever?" There was like a school meeting, one of the first last 2 years ago, and I arrived with a shirt, with a jacket, just to be nice. I just arrived here, and his first idea was a banker. And then when he saw me alone, he came to me and said, "Oh, I nice to meet you. I'm Matt. Yeah, I'm Sam's dad, whatever, and I'm Nina's dad. I'm here." And then starting to talk and realize, "Oh, but I was thinking you were working for a bank or something in the financial part, and not at all. I was thinking about a sport athlete." But they, not just him, they really opened the their heart in order to help me at the beginning and support me later.
So when you say school, this is your children's school. So other parents that you met there.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
No, I just some clarity. And by the way, Evelyn had the question. She just mentioned that she
Yeah,
had the question about what you would have done. So she's very happy about that. Maybe that gets you some of the
yeah.
merchandise. We'll find out, Evelyn. It's not my decision, but you'd have my vote. It's a good question, and we know Giorgio the surgeon. He's got a
Yeah,
scalpel.
okay. The doctor is better. The surgeon.
He's like, I got some bad news for you. We're gonna have to cut you.
Yeah.
What you kind of answered this, but I know you're involved this with player development of all levels. But what is your philosophy for youth soccer? What should young players focus on?
It's depend of the age. I think that until at least 15, they have to play much more free as possible. One against one, let them play, and spend more hours as possible with the ball. And then you have really to start from the base, control, passing, or whatever, that coordination, all these things that is really very important, and is much more important than tactics. You could teach tactics after 15 years old, and people smart could learn a few times, but it's much more difficult. Restart from playing with the weak foot, control the ball in a way, and that's little things that is not easy to learn when you became adult. What we miss here, and is my request, I don't know if it's for MLS or US Soccer Federation, but build more soccer field as possible. We need soccer field, and if we build now, we have some results probably in 10 to 15 years. But if you don't start and people is continue to play in a fake baseball field, with when the grass is high a lot of inches, that is impossible, the ball running, and it's impossible to pass, yeah, we cannot go better and better fast. And I think now there is a possibility to do a lot of uh, soccer fans are growing up, and we need more fields at least.
That's
And after that, other investment, but fields more.
uh, all of that you said. I thought was about playing with the ball, the different age groups, and obviously, if there's a lot of neighborhoods here in Los Angeles, we all kind of need those fields. So let's get out. Let's get that message out, because we know once you have that and you have somewhere where the kids can go, it makes a huge difference. Someone here, Cindy, was asked about your favorite restaurant or food to eat in LA. Someone here, I was about to ask that exact same question. Maybe it was Cindy. Favorite
Okay,
Italian
perfect.
restaurant?
I have a couple of favorite Italian. My office is Angelini. That is Angelino Street and Beverly Boulevard. My daughter's favorite is El Pastaio in Cannon Drive. But there are a bunch of Italian restaurants good. I could tell you Osteria Mozza, Giorgio Baldi, and Madeo, and I'm missing someone that's very good. That the average in this city about Italian restaurants are huge. That's the thing. I love Mexican food. I
Spicy?
love Mexican. Yeah, And I love Hideaway is a restaurant in Beverly. It's very, very good. I love Toca Madera, that is West Hollywood. I know very well this area. Yeah, but there are a bunch of Mexican restaurants that I really love. And the quality in Italy about the Mexican restaurant, trust me, is so far, so far.
So we have better quality Italian restaurants here than Italy has
No,
Mexican restaurants. No, they have better. If
no,
Italy's better, but
no,
our Italian
no, no,
restaurants are
no.
better.
Yeah, here much better Mexican restaurant, but the average of Italian restaurant are good. I didn't expect that.
Have you been to Del Piero's, Alessandro's?
Yes, obviously, yes, yeah, it's good, it's good,
I,
it's very good. But I told you there are a bunch of Italian restaurant, just 15 minutes from my house. There are at least 30 Italian restaurant, and the average is very good.
best little cafecito at the end of the meal.
Un caffettino, un caffettino e si va.
Allora, okay.
Caffettino, cafecito es español. Caffettino.
Yes, I'm sorry. How do you say it in Italian?
Caffettino.
Caffettino. You know, when I was in Italy and it was late after a big meal, I had the caffettino with a little sambuca, and then I was like, woo, walk back to the hotel, and I was good. I shouldn't be talking about food because I haven't had dinner and I'm hungry, and now I've gotten even hungrier. But there you go. Hey, hello from the 420 Originals. Jonathan is there. We'll get to those Euros. Have you been to Dan Tana's in West Hollywood? They got the Ante
Yes, I've been.
jersey.
Yes,
okay.
I've been.
Okay, here we go. One last food question. What is your go-to pre-match meal? What do you eat before a big game?
It's depend of the time in which we play. Usually, I played most of the game in my life in the night. I love to have a good enough breakfast, but nothing special. I don't like to eat so much at breakfast. Some fruits, some best bread toasted with jam, something similar, very light cafecito or caffettino as you prefer. Caffettino, and then for lunch I try to eat some carbs. It's depend. I love rice much more than pasta, but it's depend also of the situation is rice or pasta, then carbs and a little bit of protein like chicken or turkey, like white protein, not red meat. That's and vegetable, not so much, but that's my biggest meal. And then 3 hours before the game, we usually play almost all my career 8:30, 9 p.m. That is very late for here, but I was habituated to that time. Just some snacks could be a pancakes, could be bread toasted, could be something, but not fruit, a banana, but not so much. I wanted to arrive light to the game.
Yeah. That's funny. I was at training yesterday. I was talking to Ilie Sanchez, and he says, don't eat in the morning and then get through after training. I go, wouldn't you be hungry? He goes, no. And I have clarity. And then afterwards, so whenever you're done 2-3, have a nice big meal. I'm going to try and do that because, you see Ilie, he looks great. So do you, for that matter. You guys are doing it all right.
I think that everyone has to find his solution. We are different. I have a lot of my former teammates that have a big meal 3 hours before the game. I cannot do it. I could throw up during the warm up if I had this type of things. But everyone has a different answer from his body, and have to understand that.
There you go. Let's stop talking about food because I'm going to have dinner here in a little bit, and my stomach's starting to growl. You might be able to hear it over the microphone here. What was the biggest? I don't think we've asked this. The biggest reason you chose to continue to and end your career with LAFC in Los Angeles. What was that? What was that thing you said? This is where I want to go and do it.
Okay, I had another year of contract in Juventus. We lost against Macedonia playoff for the World Cup. I started in that season to feel that I needed more time to recover after a game. My performance was still okay, but I started to play less because I needed more time between a game and another game, and I really needed to manage training more than before. I always loved America. I always loved MLS and follow MLS, and Max, and
You watch his MLS.
I,
When you arrived, you would tell me about what happened in the Orlando City Nashville
yeah,
game. I was like, wait, time
yeah.
out.
I
Everything.
always loved the US, and I always loved the US sport business culture, and I was really interested in really live this type of sport business environment. And I got into the market. I had a other couple of offer, but to be honest, LA convinced me from the first time. I would love to. Yeah, I was choosing not just the club, but the city, the owner. Yeah, I had a conversation with at that time Will, then Steve, John, Larry Burr, and I start my research on LAFC and what they created from nothing in a few years, the big ownership that they have. Uh, and Larry was one of the first who said, "Okay, come here. I trust me. We will open to you for your next step when you decide if you want to stay and jump into the club for no for from us our from our club. Everything we are open to do it." Uh, I was very interested. I try to give everything to the club on and off the field, and I'm very happy to jump into the other part of the club uh, and create like a really strong relationship with everyone in the AFC, fans that we are here, and thank you, players that was my teammates before and still my players, all the front office and coaches and management and ownership too.
And as they said, they've been able to push you to the next thing, and you're that's where you are now. The next thing in the post
Yeah,
career for Giorgio Chiellini. Answer one
yeah,
question, which I always think about, and I think you've answered this before. If Italy qualified for the World Cup, do
yeah.
you think you would have ended up at LAFC?
Uh, I don't know, probably not, because I have one big problem. The best solution for me as a player is continue with Juventus to maintain my highest level. Uh, I drop a little bit and adapt to a new situation that was enough for LAFC, but wasn't the best for me in order to join the World Cup. And I cannot move in January because of family. That, to be honest, probably with the World Cup, uh, I would have, I would not have been here, and this fantastic experience I didn't have lived, and that I always said from a bad things it's happened a very beautiful things. I could tell you, and I spent here the best years of my life right now out of the field for sure. Yeah, I obviously the emotions that I felt in the past, winning trophies, lifting trophies, whatever, playing the best stadium, realized myself more than what I dreamed when I was a child. But the emotions that I lived in these 2 years, yeah, they were so strong, and you could understand how much I'm happy uh, about my choice.
You mentioned the fans and that connection with the supporters, which is so important wherever you play this sport. What was your favorite memory playing in front of the 3252? How does that atmosphere here compare to what you experienced in Europe?
Okay, I want to tell you a couple of things. First, when I was still in Italy and I had to send a video to the 3252, and I didn't know how has to call 3252 could be 3252. I didn't know that. Okay, and then I realized, okay, it's 3252. Second question was why, and then I discovered that because it's the number of the seats on the north stand, and that's my first knowledge about the 3252. I was surprised the first game I started to watch it, and also the The first game I was in against Dallas was, I think, end of June. I was shocked the first game I played against Seattle when my former teammates of Juventus that I played with them, yeah, one still until 1 month before were there. The craziness of the fans in that game, I really felt the first time on the field was unreal. Uh, every people came from Italy or Europe that I invited to the game was shocked by our fans, obviously in a positive way, but they were shocked and they still talk about it.
Wow. And I remember before you played, when you showed up for the press conference and you had your nice clothes on, you did the sha-la-las. Who was
Johnny
it?
McCarthy ruined my but it's still good enough. It's still good.
The
Yeah,
suit is
I
still
didn't
good.
charge him. I didn't charge him for the suit.
We
It's
have the best.
yeah, it's still good.
We have the best dry cleaners in the world here in Los Angeles. We have a lot of the
Yeah,
best. You know, I like to do that. I go to dry cleaners. This is amazing. Great donuts. So much. You said Mexican. We have the best in so many ways. So that's very, very exciting. Okay, I got to get. We've got to get through. We have 10 more minutes here. 9 more minutes to go. This sidebar on what you said when you arrived to MLS and you talked about how surprised or shocked you were with the 32-52. Did you underestimate the overall football culture in Los Angeles? Have you been able to experience that going street to street, block to block?
uh, I didn't underestimate. I expect that.
Yeah.
The lot of fans all over the city. I was surprised how much fun we have more than the Galaxy. I was surprised about that because, yeah, before coming here, uh, Galaxy is here since the beginning, and we arrived just 8 years ago, whatever, but played just six. And the legacy we were able to create compared to them was huge because the normal things would be the opposite, but it's not. And that's we have to thanks to Rich and all the department that work on it since the beginning, and they did a huge job, and they were fantastic on that. And the legacy that we feel with the fans and the club is something not expectable and not obvious.
Very nice. This was a good question because we talk about you're a center back, who you like to play alongside, but who are the favorite fullbacks to play alongside in your career? The guys outside that get upfield. Who are the favorite fullbacks that you've been able to play
Uh,
with?
I love to play with Spinazzola with national
Spinazzola.
team. I love really. I love to play with offensive left back, and I loved Alexandro at the beginning because it was really offensive. Obviously now it has changed this type of play, but I love to cover them, but let them go. Let them go, let them go, create superiority on my side. I love to play with Chiqui too. Really,
Yeah.
really where, yeah, I love because me and Chiki create a very good connection on this side. We had also the need that I think that was a really good side for LAFC too. And Chiki, I'm still in touch with him sometimes, and I really love to be part of his growth.
When's the last time? So when's the last time you spoke to him? He's down. He's in playing in Brazil. I mean,
Yeah.
carving it out, doing great. And how's things going with him?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's injured. Now he's coming back from this a meniscus surgery that is not easy. But yeah, he was a big part of LAFC history, and he was such a nice guy, very particular, very introvert, but with a strong mentality. He always wants to win every training, every duel, every game. That he bring our positive attitude and energy always.
Yeah, we miss Chicky. One more thing I'm going to ask you about our Euros because you may not know this. Giorgio Chiellini will be part of Fox's coverage of the Euros, which begins on Friday. The Copa America the following week. So a lot of football. So get your rest, get your fluids in because we're all going to watch a lot of football. And don't forget we have a lot of LAFC. LAFC with the game on Saturday. Go to MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Orlando City Wednesday there in Austin. who is a player that you think has the most potential on this LAFC team? Maybe a player that
Uh,
make that next
David
step.
Martinez,
David Martinez,
by far.
special, huh?
Yeah, I see in him a huge potential. I loved him from the first side. I'm, yeah, I hope that he could come back soon as possible. But the more important things for him is to have the consistency of training. He needs to train and be healthy, and all the rest, it's easy compared to the rest. He has a huge quality. He has pace, pass, shoot. He has everything. Obviously, need to improve in everything and consistency. But he has something different.
Got great answer. And he's getting after it. He's training, and we hope to see him pretty soon. Let's get to the Euros. And one person asked, who is the favorite to win the Euros and the Copa America? Because we know you watch everything, Giorgio. So I'm going to get your Copa.
For first year is for me France, England, Portugal for the Euros, and Brazil and Argentina for the Copa America. It's too easy to predict that.
I don't know. I was watching Brazil today. They're a little shaky.
It's a friendly game.
This is the thing with
it's
the
a friendly game.
USA lost to Colombia, and everyone's like, the sky is falling. We lost, and now like we played well against Brazil. It's okay. So it's hard to. I get nervous for these games. I can't wait for the US to play, but they're not going to win.
I think that US could have a good tournament. Won't be easy, obviously, but the target of US is to be at quarterfinals, and then we'll see. It depends of the draw. It depends on against you play, but the goal of this team has to be in the quarterfinal of this tournament, and they could have opportunity to go farther if they are lucky to not face maybe one of between Argentina and Brazil.
A couple of LAFC players, Christian Oliveira's with Uruguay, and he started World Cup qualifiers last November, so he might play. We'll have to wait and see about Timothy Tillman. He's with the U.S. He did. I don't think he played today, but there's one player that's coming home. It might be Timothy. It might be someone else, but we hope he can.
From a player side, we hope to be called from them and play more as possible. Obviously, for LAFC side, we hope that we could have them as soon as possible because we need them to use during the MLS game. That's something that I think has to change in the future because I know that
the schedule,
still the playoffs, but the schedule has to be adapted on the national team because it's weird that you cannot have your best player for a month, and it's not fair.
It's not fair. So maybe they switch to a European type schedule. I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon.
Also, with this time of a schedule, especially when there is no tournament, they could stop during the national window. You have to stop during the national window.
Did you know the MLS season right now is the longest in all of sports anywhere? It's longer than baseball. It's longer than any European season.
In US?
No, it's longer than the European season. By going from February to December, it ends up being longer weeks-wise.
Just for few teams. a lot of teams are on holiday in October or early November. That is very different and started, almost beginning of March. And also you don't have on this period the national team. Trust me, the life in America for athletes is beautiful. You have a lot of time for your family. And the off season, I was able to have 3 weeks of off season. Here is at least 6. Then, they cannot complain.
Yes. It's funny you bring that up because I spoke to Hugo Lloris about that at training. And I go, are you sure? Because right now you could be playing for France. He goes, it's time. I don't want to be playing 60, 70 games a year. I'm like, 60, 70? It's crazy.
Yes.
But I did my Euro bracket, and every time I did it, I came down with the same Final Four. England, France on one side, Portugal, Germany. So I don't know. I got to figure out who's going to win it. I'm leaning towards a France-Germany final, but I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yeah, it's the fan of the France. Germany is good because they play at home. Yeah. France is the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, an hour with Giorgio Chiellini. Tell me that didn't feel like 15 minutes. It flew by. You want to do another hour, Giorgio? You got some free? I'm just kidding. I'm too hungry.
Yeah. yeah. Now I'm going back to the family, have a dinner with them, and enjoy my time here. But I want to thanks all the members or the people who are here live in the chat and be part and was part of that. Yeah, I'm very happy to be involved in every LFC things. And then we see you soon. We see you soon on 22nd and 29th at the stadium. And yeah, love you all.
There you go. Giorgio Chiellini, thanks to everyone on our virtual meet and greet. LAFC Gold members and season ticket members, we will see you out there, and we'll see Giorgio out and about. Maybe you see him with a little cafetito and you can say hello. Good night, everyone. We'll talk to you guys very soon.
Good night.